Welcome to Daily Overdose.
The promise is that you will live. You won't just exist, but you will truly live. You will begin to enjoy the moment you are in. Be present. Wherever you are, be present in this very moment. You cannot simply dream about a future without taking care of the responsibilities of now.
What is your final destination? Now, I think we're all created for purpose, and I think probably we have within us a sense of destiny. What we are to become is a result of what we do today. And so often I think we focus on the future and we miss the present. Take care of today. Here's what I know. You take care of today, put enough todays together, and you will discover your destiny.
Whether it's adversity, whether it's suffering, whether it's pain, if you choose to run towards it, who you become on the other side of it is a newer, higher, more transcendent version of you.
You gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face. You're able to say to yourself, I've lived through this hard. I can take the next thing that comes along. You must do the thing you cannot do. It is the thing that we cannot do. And because it is that, we must do that.
The work you do now is the planting of the seeds that will germinate, that will grow in the darkness when no one else is watching. When you're isolated and alone, those seeds are developing. Forget the fact that they are buried. They are only hidden to those on the outside.
You're going to have such a period in your life where it seems like it's not working. You're going to have doubts. You're going to have a lot of trials and tribulations and challenges. And everybody has what's called a turn back moment. You always have a moment in your life where the direction you're going, you will have to make a decision to keep going or you turn back. The sad thing is the average person turns back. But think about this. If you're going somewhere and you turn back, you can never get there.
But the time is now, man. And what I mean by that is we can no longer put off what should be done today till tomorrow. We can't no longer put off what should have been done yesterday until tomorrow. The time is now. The time is now to go for it. The time is now to stop settling for less. The time is now to get the most out of your life. The time is now to start that dream. The time is now to start that idea. The time is now to set standards and stand by them. The time is now in your life.
Once fear is acted upon, the death of fear is certain. If you had 6 months to live, what would you do differently? Would you have the same job? Would you be worried about things that you're worried about right now? Would you have the same relationships? Would you have the same people in your life?
When no one sees those hours, those countless moments when you're grinding, when it's just you, but God and you. And you got to trust that God gave you the ability and the opportunity and the desire to be more so you can serve more. So you might as well keep watering that dream every day. And sometimes the water that you give your dream are the tears of frustration because you haven't had it yet. Stay that hungry, stay that mad, stay that frustrated, but put that fuel in the tank of purpose and drive yourself to the next level.
Because when you live an easy life, your life is really hard. When you do hard things, your life becomes easy. How much adversity can you handle and still keep making good decisions, still keep putting one foot in front of the other, still keep leading people that you're meant to lead? And if you can crank up that thermostat by intentionally doing hard things, running towards pain, doing that one more set, one more rep, one more step, one more sales call, one more knock on the door, one more thing, one more degree than everybody else. All it takes is that one extra degree consistently compounded over time. You become a savage of a human.
Never rely on tomorrow to bail you out, because it can't and it won't. That's why you need to make every day a masterpiece. That's why every moment matters. So today, you got it in your hand. Grab it. Do it right now. If you do it now, you're preparing for tomorrow. If you don't do it now, tomorrow, you're going to try to repair yesterday. And you just can't do that well. Every moment matters.
All that stuff you've ever imagined, it's just been God showing you a preview of a coming attraction he has for you. The problem with your imagination is you tell it to the wrong people.
No shame in being a broken man. I should know. Just pick up the pieces. Start rebuilding.
Their feelings are stronger than their mind. Our minds are stronger than our feelings. So you think about the success that you had. Your feelings could have said, you don't need to get out of bed anymore. When you fail, your feelings give you excuses. Your mind makes you more resilient.
If you could change the way you wake up in the morning, stop saying, I got to go to work, I got to work out. Change one word in that sentence, and everything about your life changes. I get to wake up in the morning. When you say I got to, you take all of your opportunities and all of your blessings and you wrap them up in stress by saying I got to. You take all the stress off of it when you say I get to.
We're running at 40%, most of us, because we're half in and half out. And it's not surprising, because life is difficult. It's like, well, what if you were 90% in, or 95% in, or all in? Because you're all in anyways, right? It's a life and death game. No one gets out of this. Everyone dies. You might as well commit yourself. And you might as well commit yourself to the highest good that you can attain, because why not? It'll imbue your life with meaning. It's hard, the responsibility is there, but all the meaning's in the responsibility, and that'll make your life better. Maybe it make the world better. It's like, that'll justify your damn miserable existence at 3 o'clock in the morning when you're wondering what the hell you're doing here. And that's a good thing, because there's going to be days when you're aching and tired and sore, and you need a reason to get up, and you think, yeah, well, a little more heaven and a little less hell. Maybe I can pull that off today and tomorrow and next week, and that's worth struggling forward for. And so that's how it looks to me.
I have spent my whole life scared, frightened of things that could happen. Might happen, might not happen.
I came to realize it's that fear that's the worst of it. That's the real enemy.
Outlast the temporary. Outlast the temporary. Everything in life is temporary. All pain is temporary.
You have an unavoidable mortal burden to bear in life. There's no escape from it, except to directly confront it and to take it on voluntarily.
The world doesn't give a damn about your excuses. The point I'm trying to make is life goes on with or without you. I want you to understand that and get that. It is up to you to create a disruption in your life. We have been living in the same freaking patterns over and over again, okay? You have to positively disrupt the pattern that you're currently in.
If you let people's perception of you dictate your behavior, you will never grow as a person. But if you leave yourself open to experience, despite what others think, then you will learn and grow.
There's far more to you than you think, because it turns out that you have substantial problems, genuine, deep, but that if you decide that you will take that on as your responsibility, that you can put yourself together psychologically, just the courage, and you can actually solve the problems. Dark as things are, there's more light in you than you know what to do with, and there's more light in you than you can possibly manifest. And the way to find that out is to challenge yourself against these massive problems and to find out that you're the one that can deal with them.
You will have good days and you'll have bad days, but you will always learn something more or something new on bad days than good days.
Success requires no apologies. Failure permits no alibis. Success requires no apologies. Failure permits no alibis. Going through adversity, going through trials and tribulations, you can get to the other side of these trials if you don't quit, that you get introduced to your other self. Your other self. And so what if it is that all of the tragedies, trials, tribulations, difficulties in our lives are all set up there so that on the other side of it there's another version of us. So the other side of it we get introduced to our other self.
Begin. This is where it begins. In the darkness, before the sun and the birds and the world every day. When the alarm sounds, it's time. Rise. Despite fatigue and soreness, curse the warmth of the bed. Curse the comfort of the pillow. Fight the temptation of weakness. Get up and go.
You don't have to force yourself or motivate yourself to think negatively, to be depressed, to beat yourself up over the head. If you want to begin to really enjoy a happy, successful, healthy life, you've got to be willing to go against the tide. You've got to be willing to harness your will and say, in spite of this, I'm in control here.
Number one, who are you and what your value is? Number two, what is your purpose here in life? And number three, what is your destiny when you're done here?
If when the alarm clock goes off in the morning and you ain't happy about it, you ain't doing what you want. See, you fighting upstream. You're going against what God created you for. If your job makes you sick to go to, if you're unhappy with waking up to go to where you got to go, it's because you ain't living in your guilt.
Because ultimately, denying your passions is a slow suicide. Denying the things that you want to do that are going to make you happy, that make you feel more fulfilled and more peaceful and joyful and content, it's just a slow suicide. It really is. But you becoming a shell of the human being that you were supposed to be. Would you rather be with them all the time, make all the sacrifices for them, never think about yourself, always think about them, but then you become a shell of a human being that you were supposed to become, and when you walk through the threshold of your home, you walk in as a shell of a man, a shell of a woman?
It was on me. And that's the thing you have to realize. Everything you do, you may have some support, you may not, but it's on you. You have to make the decision whether you want to be a badass or whether you just want to be mediocre and everything's okay. But being a badass hurts.
Stop thinking so much about life. Life is made out of actions, because it's not gonna fly around somewhere and by luck you're gonna grab it. You find something and give meaning to it, something you like to spend your time with, something that gives you purpose, then no need to wait for the sense of life to come.
Number one, whatever promise you make, I'm going to wake up at this time and not hit the snooze button. You wake up at that time and don't hit the snooze button. I'm going to eat clean, then you eat clean. Then you maintain a positive mental attitude. What if you actually set higher standards for yourself and you actually set those standards, then you hold yourself accountable to it?
Instead of looking at those things like they're a negative, look at them as a positive season of your life, because you are a new creation every single day.
I think one of the hardest things to hear after you don't get your way is keep working. But it's also one of the only solutions to be successful. You're not going to get your way most of the time in your life. Just keep working. Hard work pays off, no one tells you when. You'll never know the true feeling of accomplishment if you've never faced a setback. You'll never know the true meaning of confidence if you've never had to bounce back from anything. Just keep working. You're not getting what you want, keep working. You are getting what you want, keep working.
Failures are a prerequisite to who we want to become. I cannot stress that enough. So sometimes something that seems to be a negative thing, seems to be a bad thing that is happening to us, or even a season of dormant, or even a season where we have to sit back and start to recalibrate, recoil the spring, so to speak, reconfigure where we're at. Sometimes that's right where we need to be.
Perfection does not exist. Doesn't exist, man. You should try your hardest to get things right. In moments where you got them wrong, figure out how to never get them wrong again.
90% of the time we think the same thoughts as we thought the day before. The challenge with that is the thought that you keep thinking over and over again becomes a belief. The process of change really requires becoming conscious of your unconscious thoughts, which means just because you have that thought doesn't necessarily mean it's the truth. If you have that thought and you accept it, you believe it, you surrender to it without analyzing it, that thought will lead to the same choice, which will lead to the same behavior, which will create the same experience, which then will produce the same emotion. The same emotions then drive our very same thoughts.
Hear people say, if you believe it, then you can achieve it. And the problem with that is they're leaving out the most important part of the equation. And that part is work, action, actually doing something. That's what you have to do to achieve anything. Yeah, you gotta believe it, but you better get the work done.
But usually we react. We have pain, we have suffering, we react. And we react about, get the out of here. It's those people who are able to control that feeling of flight and say, no, motherfucker, there's a way through this. It's gonna end. It's gonna end, but we don't know that. We don't think that. At that time, it's gonna last forever. So what keeps me going? I've quit several things. I know what's on the back end of fucking quitting. It's a lifetime of thinking about why the fuck did I do that? And I ain't fucking doing that no more.
Doing what you said you were going to do, that's all that matters in life. If you do what you say you're going to do, your self-image increases. When you do what you say you're going to do, you will be happier, you will be healthier, you will be harder to kill. You show up early, you do your hard work, you do what needs to be done, you're going to get pats on the back, you're going to get positive reinforcement, you're going to get smiles instead of smirks. You're going to get people wanting to be attracted to you.
What are you doing right now? Are you not doing anything? Are you doing something stupid? Or are you making progress? What are you doing right now?
But betting on yourself means sacrificing the time with the homies, and the weekends and the TV for the big goal and passion and purpose that you feel you're cut for,